So Insta360 asked us one question. If you could ride anywhere in the world, where would you go? And originally, this trip wasn't even meant to be the East Cape. Hayden and I wanted to do South Island over New Year's, but the weather down there was pretty bad. We kept watching it and waiting for a break, and it just never really came. Then the East Cape forecast opened up, and Hayden said, why don't we just do that? You don't really see many people riding the East Cape. It's kind of quiet and pretty rural, a bit forgotten. So we pivoted, and I flew off to New Zealand for the start of my year in 2026. We took off with the Instago Ultra, Insta360 X5, and the Ace Pro 2. 4 days, roughly 600 kilometers for the boys, from Hawke's Bay to Ohope. This was our East Cape adventure in New Zealand. Alright, we're about to embark on a 4-day bikepacking trip on the East Cape of the North Island in New Zealand. And Hayden's going to tell us where we're going.
So we're starting at Havelock North, and we're going to do 3 days through the East Cape. We'll go through Mahia Bay, go through Gisborne for non-locals, all the way out to the East Cape up to Wilde Bay, through Opotiki and finish in Ohope. And that'll be our 4-day trip. It's going to be myself, Brody. Alex is currently going toilet somewhere in the bush, and Ian's going to be on car duties. This is definitely the glamping style. I'll be on TT. Brode's on the insane looking gravel road bike with a little motor in it, and I'll be going back and forth on the Canyon with the gravel and the TT. And Alex is on the road bike. There it is. That's Alex.
There's Alex. It's gonna be sick, and we're gonna send it.
40k an hour average, straight out the gate.
Day one, we started in Hawke's Bay. Everyone's fresh and ready to go, and the boys were aiming for around 200 kilometers for the day. I knew with barely being on the bike since April, I'd be a bit worse for wear, so we teed up a local bike company, Wilde, to lend me a hand with some assistance to keep up with one of the best riders in triathlon. Not to make it easy, because it certainly wasn't easy, but just to make sure I wasn't spending 4 days getting dropped after the first hour. The original plan was pretty simple: charge the bike off Hayden's ute when the bike became dead. And that lasted about half a day. The ute just didn't want to play ball and wouldn't charge the bike. So we realised pretty quickly that that wasn't going to work, which meant every day after that, I was basically hunting for PowerPoints. Our car's not charging the bike, and it did this morning. A little bit of a debacle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we got a coconut, so it's alright.
It's an alternative.
Sorted.
Well, it's more like, so if I go on your gravel, I'm just going to be like an hour behind you guys anyway. Yeah.
Who wants to go up the road and charge?
So I may as well go up for the road and charge it. Otherwise, I'm genuinely going to be an hour behind you guys.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we'll also 50 tomorrow, and they mix it 150k, so 150, and you get 300. So,
yeah, we do still have
that sounds like
3 more days of riding.
that sounds like a damn good deal. Lightly sparkled.
Alright, sweet. We'll catch us down the road.
That is a lot heavier than mine.
Testing out the dimmies.
One-stop pie shop. Give them a big shout out from the electricity.
Rolling into local stores, cafes, random spots really, explaining what I was doing and the locals having a good laugh, and then asking if I could plug the bike in for an hour. Which honestly became part of the trip for me, and I loved it. Not planned at all, but it was actually pretty funny looking back on it and watching the footage back.
The local goats. The hillbillies. They're the locals. Maybe there's some on the road.
The ride to Mahia Beach itself was solid. Long stretches and awesome coastal roads. By the time we rolled into Mahia Beach, the boys had done close to 200 Ks, and I'd be done around 150-ish for the day after I had to take the time to charge the bike. So that was the first day done. The legs were feeling pretty good for not really riding for 6 months and having a completely new bike fit in a new saddle, which we won't touch on again.
Day one, we're dipping into a vanilla chocolate Dundee.
Yeah. Hayden.
Carpety Ghost. Beautiful. Definitely need a bit of a stretch for tomorrow.
Awesome day. What a day, day one. So sick. Riding with mates, so cool. So sick.
So it gives us good 10k to warm up. I presume that.
So the way we started every morning was Hayden brought his coffee machine and made some brews for the boys. We had awesome weather on the first day, and it looked like today was going to be even better. Today looked like around 100 kilometers for me and a bit more for the boys.
It actually is stage 2, because yesterday was pretty much a time trial.
Stage 2, Hayden Wilde,
Today was the prologue.
Day 2 is 105 kilometers. We are currently on YMCA Road, funnily enough. We have directly is 84.5, 1100 meters of climbing. Doing that mostly in one climb and then descent into Gisborne, which is fairly renowned as the mecca of Taylor Reid triathlon. We'll pop in and say hello to him. Should get there around 1:30. We need to get there before 2 because New Zealand cafes, funnily enough, close at 2 p.m. every single day. So we're rushing against time today, and it's only going to be 3 hours more or less.
Sweet. Send it. It's a race. It's always a race.
And Brody has a new setup, so you should save 14 watts on those bad boys with the Zip Fire Crust 303s with a better cassette this time. A SRAM 12 by 1033 cassette instead of the Eagle of I think he had like a 10 to 48 or something out the back of the dinner plate. So should get 6k extra out of the beast today, which is perfect. It's what we need.
Yeah, definitely works. My butt's sore though. After a 20-minute warm-up behind Hayden in TT, we stop talking so much and start getting ready for Hayden's team time trial.
On my cheese, queso, provolone, and get all of my dogs out the trap like Home Alone and Creed said I'm locked in. I really got no options. Standing on business, I need mines off the top then. Let them go ahead and count us all out. We just running up the numbers, watch us hit another level. Hey, can't hold me back. Put the city on the map, boy. How you love that? Boy, they thought that I was playing, but I hit another level. About to hit another level, had to hit another level. Hey, hit another level.
I'm just joking, but it was quite fun and it was absolutely awesome.
$3k left.
En route to 116 Winey Road.
We're at 91.
Oh, there we go. 160. Yeah, for a coffee stop.
We're getting a
I sent
coffee.
it to you.
94k.
93.92.
We're at 94.1. 3 hours.
100 to the
Finally at the coffee shop. Finally.
Do a next session in the morning, which is like the same time as the race.
So where are we?
We're in Gisborne.
We're in Gisborne.
Yeah, East Coast, the mecca of the East Coast, and we're at the. I presume is this Raglan Roast?
Raglan Roast.
This is Raglan Roast.
What's that?
It's one of the icons of the Raglan Roast. Even though like Raglan Roast is on the other coast.
Oh yeah, Raglan
About
Roast.
as far as you can get from here, just about.
Yeah.
Not as good as the Dream Bean. No. What we've been having every morning.
So we rolled into Gisborne, and instead of finishing there, Hayden and I also decided to do a run off the bike. It's 2 days down and getting ready for day 3 tomorrow.
Last transfer
day, Tauranga Bay, and we're sunblocking up, getting some fuel, and going to the black market for a coffee, for our first rural coffee. See how it goes. We're outside the workshop at a gas station. Move the car forward. Fill up some gas and Off we go. We're going to Hicks Bay.
Yep.
Finishing at Cape Runaway and then driving back to Hicks Bay. Just because there was no Airbnbs on site, so we've gone to get some new ones.
And that's day 3. Thank you.
Day 3 was probably the best stretch of riding, and it was absolutely awesome. The East Cape roads were unreal. Super quiet, big views, and cars were actually really respectable.
Alrighty, we're now going through another local town. Look how beautiful this is. Gotta get back on the horse. Wrong turn. Look how beautiful this is though. We're in Te Araro. Sorry, I can't pronounce the names. Try my best. Alrighty, so for those wondering, I'm using the Insta360 Pro 2. Hayden's on the Go Ultra, and Alex is using the X5 at the front of his bike. Once we hit the mountains, which we're in now, it was for me to just go send it on the trail mode, try and get to Tikiti, so then I can charge the bike and then jump back on. A bee just hit me in the head. We're out doing the East Cape of New Zealand. It's pretty cool. 1% left, but we've made it. Don't know if we'll make it into town, but made it. Now I gotta find a charger. I've got the charger in my back pocket, so.
How's Brody going?
5 minutes up the road.
Yeah, he was flying up those hills.
Yeah.
I was pushing like 400 watts, and it was just like, I'm like, it's
Gone.
We're going to Cape Runaway, so still got a bit of a hike to go. But we started in Havelock North, and we've just been going over yeah. So we've been going over it for a couple of days.
Yeah, between here and probably got it all. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's all sealed. So.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's
shitload of dips. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like 2,000 meters of climbing. So
yeah.
That'll be a bit of fun.
You'll get that done in half an hour, won't you?
I wish.
I will.
We were planning to do the south, but I was like, oh, I'm from Whakatane, but we're kind of like, oh, why not do the east coast?
Yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah. Enjoy, eh? See you later. Alright. Yeah, we've been humming. Point to prove. I don't know. Brody's Brody. There's some sugar freeze in there as well if you want a bit of a...
Yeah, we are in Tiki, just charging up the bike at the local postie.
35 k's at Te Araroa,
Yeah.
close to the easternmost point in the North Island.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the
East Cape.
We're gonna go to the easternmost point and officially make our East Cape journey an East Cape journey, I guess.
Yeah, we can wander out to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
later on.
Charge the bike.
This is association.
Yeah. Thanks to these guys for letting me charge my bike. The Waupu Return Service Association. Bike's not charging fast enough.
We go and have a look, see what's on.
Yeah, probably should. Can't do much about it though. What an absolutely beautiful part of the world, hey? Not many people get to experience this, so it's pretty cool. Lads.
Oh, big deal, I said. Changing the equipment, we're going on to the gravel. we're going to go all the way to the tip. Well, it's kind of semi a change plan, I guess, but not too much. I think it's kind of nicer. So instead of riding to our accommodation, we're going to finish at pretty much the tip of the East Cape, which is another 25k away, and it's all on gravel, and it takes us to the tip of the East Cape where the lighthouse is, and we do a bit of a hike in, and we finish up at the lighthouse, but we're just doing some changes, putting the DTs back on Brody's, and then my zips back on the OG.
Nice. That's pretty sick, eh? This is pretty neat, eh?
Prepped. But we're pretty dirty, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're dirty as.
Yeah, so the conditions.
Right.
It's all pretty much, we're averaging like 40.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice wind, so I'm gonna get behind Brody now. Yo, obviously bikes are a bit dirty. We just went to the east of the East Cape, and up there is will be a sick view at the lighthouse, but it is closed, and I'm afraid that the warden here will probably not appreciate us going onto a closed trail, so no walk up to the top today. But if we go around the corner, we could probably walk onto the beach and have a gander and boost on the beach. Probably not good for the bikes, but it's good for the vibes. And it was actually quite nice coming this way.
That was actually the nicest we've done.
Yeah, it was quite nice. It was really good. It was nice.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Definitely got a lot more enthusiasticness from that one.
Yeah, no, that was good.
That was good.
But yeah, track's closed, can't do anything about it.
Unlucky. Oh well, the view's still good though.
View's still awesome.
The views just means that we're going to get a view
that's lower.
50 metres lower. Yeah. That's where we had to walk up. That's the East Cape of Cape Island. I don't know what it's called, but it's as east as you can get from New Zealand.
Yeah. So sick. Alrighty, day 3 wrapped. 150 k's each.
And we're in Hicks Bay, cleaning the bikes off for the first time, and the car. And one more day, 160 I think tomorrow, and we've done.
It's done.
700k and boys been profit.
Just smoking. Day 4, what's the plan?
150k individual pursuit, not team time trial. And all we've got is Lewis Road creamy chocolate milk for a halfway pit stop, and a blueberry Red Bull. Vanilla ice. Whatever you want. Oh, that sounds a bit... Oh, she's leaked a little. Whoops. Oh, she got a hole in that one. Like a grenade.
That just went everywhere.
We're finishing on the Ohope Wharf, which is 150 away, and we're going to make it by 2 so we can have a coffee, because that's when the Dream Bean closes. So we're ready to go, and we're really going to send it. Alright, day 4, we're in beautiful Waihao Bay, funnily known as the place to go fishing up the coast. This is my first time up Waihao Bay, but I know we can see it on a good day in Whakatane. We have 150k to the Ohope Wharf, and yeah, other than that, looks like a good day for fishing. Definitely would rather be out there than be on the roads, and yeah, last day.
Last day. I'm taking a backpack.
He's got a charge at 50k, and then I'll leave 20 minutes later, and then off we go.
Plans to actually try and time it right today.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving earlier.
Leave now.
Yeah, leaving now. And Hayden's KOM hunting.
Yes. Today is KOM hunt, so it's gonna be on and off all day.
Last day. Day 4. Let's go. It's gonna be sick. The plan we thought of was pretty simple. Get ahead, buy some time, stop and charge, and then we'd catch each other and all ride back into town together. It made sense in our head, but the wind that day was insane. So instead of gaining time, we all basically did a solo time trial for the day. Just everyone head down into the wind by themselves, trying to get some time on Hayden. So the master plan kind of backfired, and I didn't really gain time. If anything, I lost a lot of time. All right, we're at the first stop. Unfortunately, not as quick as what we would have wanted, but yeah, headwind the whole way. It doesn't help when the bike's like 20 kilos and you're not very aero, but we're not getting it. Like I was pushing so hard then. I'm sweating non-stop, and we just didn't really get anywhere.
Hayden said he's about 5k's down on what his expected average.
Yeah.
On the CT bike, so that's how windy it is.
Well, I was planning to get here 30 minutes before everyone. Got here like 7 minutes before. So, yeah, that is what it is.
Oh, here he comes.
The burger was recommended, so I may as well try it whilst I wait here for everyone. Accidentally got the beef burger. Oh yeah. Catch the boys later. We regrouped, but only because the Insta360 bolt snapped in Alex's stem, which meant we had to do a bike changeover because Hayden had both his gravel and TT bike.
Brody incoming. Just absolutely reefing himself. Look at him go. Yeah, we got water for you.
I was reefing that the whole way. Rolling into our hot bay for a coffee was honestly awesome, and to finish it off with a nice brew and some good company was even better.
Just making the coffee from the Dream Bean team. So the beans we've been having all trip, but we're now out in the Mecca.
Almost a disaster. But
Almost a disaster.
shout out to having a spare bike. Pretty handy. Yeah.
Having 10 car.
True. So.
We then headed where Hayden was from, in Whakatane, which is awesome as well. And yeah, we ran off the bike again. So that was our East Cape adventure. 4 days, roughly 600 kilometers and over 5,500 meters for the boys and a bit less for me. Not long after we rode through the East Cape, a major storm caused thousands of slips across the East Cape and lives were lost. It's a reminder that we were fortunate to be there when we were, and our thoughts are with the communities affected. And lastly, a massive thank you to Insta360 for making this happen for us.